no shorty and she doesn't want no slow song. Had a man last year.
Yo man, we're back out here with some more Fortnite real quick. Now today, we're going to be talking about the end of Season 5 or potentially the start of Season 6. Now I know it all sounds crazy. Season 5 has literally just started, but we've got a bunch of information I'm going to go into. So I'm going to need you guys to stay tuned throughout this video. Honestly, there's a lot of information that I'm going to get into, so you guys need to pay attention, make sure you listen to everything, because there's a lot of stuff going on right now, and there's a very good chance that it's going to link towards how Season 5 will end and how Season 6 will start. So before I get into that information, man, if you guys do going to enjoy, make sure you smash the like button on this video real quick, because honestly, you know what, you guys have been showing a lot of support, for real. Like on my Fortnite videos, you guys know I'm formerly like a Call of Duty YouTuber. I still am, you know. I've been uploading a lot more Fortnite recently, been enjoying this game a lot, been getting better at the game as well. If you guys could show some support, I'd definitely appreciate it. And also, if you are new around here, make sure you subscribe to the channel, man. I'm going to bring you guys a lot more content like this, so especially the latest information, so make sure you guys stay tuned on the channel out here, man. I almost forgot, actually, we kind of know what the road trip skin might be in this game as well. I'm going to go into some detail about that, but first of all, I want to give you guys some backstory, just so I'm going to make references to this later on in the video, so it all makes a little bit more sense. But anyway, let's go back to like Season 3 of Fortnite Battle Royale. So you guys know we started seeing the comet in the sky, the meteor started falling, we saw this like blue thing in the air, and that was like the main event throughout that whole season. That was like the whole thing we were talking about, people making videos and it were like, yo, where is it going to hit? Is it going to hit Tilted Towers? That was like the main topic of discussion. People thought, yo, it's definitely going to hit there. We got all the, you know, telescopes around the whole map. People thinking, yo, Tilted's gone, it's out of here, it ruins the game, let's get it going. And it didn't actually do that, you know. Each of the days leading up to Season 4, the comet or the meteor started getting closer and closer, and then it turns out it hit Dusty Divot, which no one really expected, but that was the main event throughout that whole season, you know, the meteor coming down, getting closer each and every day. And I was thinking, yo, when is it going to hit and where is it going to hit? And it ended up hitting Dusty. Now leading into Season 4, that was the main change to the map, you know, the massive crater that appeared because of that meteor and the different craters that were around the map, adding the hot rocks and all that different stuff. That was the main change of that season. Of Season 4, it was the crater, and obviously towards the end of that season we had the rocket, we had that building up as well towards like what's going to happen with it, what's it taking, where's it going, what's it going to hit, like when's it going to launch, all that different stuff, which is why we've got the crack in the sky, we've got the rifts all over the place, we've got things like coming in from different time periods, different like places, like the real world going into Fortnite as well. So if you don't know, that's what Worlds Collide is. Season 5 Worlds Collide is essentially like real life stuff coming into Fortnite and vice versa, which is why Durburger from Greasy Grove ended up in real life in California, and also why we got the desert area in this game as well. The desert area, like Paradise Palms, whatever it's called, came from like the California place in real life. In fact, I almost forgot, in Season 4 we had the Blockbuster skin, which was the visitor skin, which we later found out towards the end of the season. You had to like complete different challenges, weekly challenges, until like towards the end of the season, where once you had done them all, you would finally unlock it. It was the visitor skin. It came down in the meteor, and it was in fact in the middle of Dusty Divot the entire time, hidden inside the little rock part of the meteor that was there. It was there the entire time, for real. It was there the entire time, and that was one of the main things in that season as well that we were waiting for to see. The visitor skin, it was called that obviously because it visited from like wherever it came from in space. The meteor came down and visited the Fortnite map. But now we've got the road trip skin in Season 5. Now just to get this one out the way real quick, the reason it's called the road trip skin, and obviously like since the last one was called the visitor skin and it visited the Fortnite map, like the name links to what the skin is, if you know what I'm saying, and what it's about and why it's there. The road trip skin recently, since Season 5 dropped, Fortnite have been dropping like different images. We've had different loading screens of like the skins traveling around the Fortnite map in different places in the golf buggy. So we've got like different roads going around the map now. The Rift skin initially came through the crack from real life into the Fortnite map. It was a little bit confused, and then the battle pass skins have gone on a road trip around the map, the different biomes in the map, like the Viking area, the sand area. You got an image right here of them in like lazy something, what I can't remember what it's called. You know what I'm talking about, the new Anarchy Acres or whatever it was. Anyway, yeah, the reason why it's called the road trip skin is because throughout the season they're going to be taking like a road trip around the whole map in that golf buggy. You know, another reason why that's in the game as well. You'll realize that the loading screens really do give like a lot of information about like the whole theme of the season. Anyway, let's get into the proper stuff now. This is all reference stuff that I just mentioned, so you guys can, you know, refer back to that when I'm talking about all this different stuff. So as of right now, we've got the whole crack in the sky because of the rocket. Now the crack is still there, clearly for a big reason, you know what I'm saying. I assume that the crack is there for, you know, to close out Season 5 and, you know, make a big change to the map for Season 6. Something massive is going to happen with that, or at least some big things are going to come through that crack or through the rifts that are going to come into the Season 5 map and make changes for the Season 6 map. I assume like the crack is similar to like the meteor that we've had or the rocket that we've had in previous seasons, because, you know, it's going to slowly change the map in different ways leading into the next season. Like the meteor was the thing that made the change for Season 4, and the rocket was the thing that made the change for Season 5. So this crack is going to make changes. In fact, it already is, man. The crack's already making changes. In fact, if you do look up closely at it, sand is falling through the crack in the sky. You remember that they said that the new sand sand biome is legit the sand coming from California real life. So throughout this season, we're going to see more stuff coming through the cracks. Again, like I said, sand's coming through it right now, which may create more of a sand biome in the map for season 6, or at least we're going to see more stuff come through it. You know what I'm saying? We've already had like signs come through. I remember like in season 4, we've had different items come through rifts, like the wagon for the Wild Wild West theme and the anchor as well, which came through the rift, which created, you know, the Viking area of the map. But this all could potentially tie into something else as well. Now, you guys know before season 5 actually dropped, there was a load of different leaks about different areas that we're going to get on the map. One of them was an Egyptian area, which is a big thing I'm going to get into later within this video, so you guys need to stay tuned for that. But it was also a Wild Wild West area that was supposed to get. Now, I know we've had like various aspects of that implemented into the game. However, this sand could be linking towards and help create a new point of interest, which would be the Wild Wild West area. Whether that comes from real life, because you guys know the theme of this season is essentially like historical, you know, military. It's got like a bunch of different like slight themes to it. A lot of it coming from real life and time travel and all that different stuff. So the Wild Wild West part could come through the cracks, which is why the sand seeping through already part of the Wild Wild West point of interest, which would essentially be implemented into the Fortnite map in the coming time. Now, you guys know Fortnite do like to make changes to the map quite often during the season, and even like when the season's about to end, you know, to add to the final event or the start of the next season, which is why this could be a big part towards it. Now let me get into this, because I know a lot of you guys have been waiting for this part. So if you go into replay mode and you go towards Loot Lake, I'll show you guys gameplay of this most definitely. But before I do say it, again, talking about the leaked areas that were, you know, talked about before season 5 was actually dropped, an Egyptian area with a pyramid and a sphinx was one of those places that a lot of people were talking about. We never really actually got it in this season. Like, no one's really talked about it too much as well. Like, we've not really mentioned that we're missing an Egyptian area. That was like the main theme that a lot of people thought was going to be implemented into season 5. However, we've not really seen anything of the sort. The only thing kind of like it is the sand biome, but I've already explained that. But if you go to Loot Lake and hover over it, if you get to like a certain distance from it, you can see some textures underneath Loot Lake, which appears to be a pyramid. Now, this pyramid could do one of many things, and I'm going to get into some of the possibilities in just a second. But what I think it might do is similar to like the other events that we've had with the meteor, with the rocket and stuff like that. I feel like the pyramid might slowly rise up from the ground and eventually create like the pyramid area. Maybe the sand falling from the crack in the sky will help form like the sand beneath it, or like, I don't know, drain Loot Lake out to help create this, you know, Egyptian point of interest. I don't know, because if you really think about it, Loot Lake is essentially there to break up the map. There's no doubt in my mind about that, because obviously once you're in it, you're at a little bit of a disadvantage, because, you know, you go a lot slower. It's kind of difficult to build sometimes. It can just be really awkward, which is why it's there. So you have to like go around there rather than just sprinting straight through it. It's kind of just to break up the map, like I said. So the pyramid could act in a similar way, in a sense that, I don't know, you could run straight up it. Maybe it will be too steep to do that, or if you do, someone could just be right at the top and pick you off, because obviously high ground is key in this game. So it might be like one staircase in the middle, but as that pyramid rises up, I believe it will just work in a similar way as Loot Lake, in a sense that you will just end up running around it anyway. It will just help to break up the map, but it will just look a lot different and a lot better in comparison to Loot Lake. That's my theory. We've seen these textures. I'll show you guys these textures, and the sand is falling from the sky as well in that crack, so it does make a lot of sense. Not only that, but you know, you can tell Fortnite are really trying to implement different biomes into the game, and this, you know, implemented like the real life world into the Fortnite map may be their way of doing so. You guys know we got the Viking area right now, and I only just realized that I didn't even know there's snow. There's actually snow there. So as time goes on within this season and potentially leading into season 6, I believe more snow will fall and eventually create more of a snow biome towards that like bottom left area where that Viking area is. Because like before this season, we only had grass, like legit everywhere, grass and trees. That's all we had. But now we've got the sand area as well now, and we'll have, you know, more snow towards the end of the season, I believe anyway. That I feel like that would only make sense, and it adds more effect to the road trip, which is the entire theme of, you know, this season, or at least, you know, the blockbuster skin of this theme, because they'll be able to travel through like different biomes and stuff like that, which would be pretty cool. But obviously I did mention I was going to talk about the road trip skin and what this could actually be. So linking back to Loot Lake, if that pyramid does rise up, right, and again I mentioned the meteor for this key reason, you guys need to stay tuned. I told you. So like I said, the visitor skin in season 4, yeah, in season 4 was in the meteor the entire time. Slowly it dissolved away or disappeared, and then the canister that was inside the meteor opened. People thought it might be an egg, people thought it might be an alien. Nah, it was just a visitor skin in like a canister, and that was there the entire season. So what if the pyramid acts in the same way? I don't know if you guys remember, but the rocket came down at Loot Lake initially. I remember that it came down at Loot Lake, created like a rift there, and like teleported or time traveled, if you will. So what if that created a pyramid underneath Loot Lake that was slowly slowly rise up, and eventually towards the end of the season, maybe towards the start of season 6, we'll see the pyramid open, and inside the pyramid will be the road trip skin, which is the Pharaoh. What if that's the case? What if that's the case? Because if you look at the blacked out image that we get for the road trip skin right now, it kind of looks like it has like a cloak behind it. It could be a pharaoh, which would link to the Egyptian point of interest that we've been talking about throughout this whole video at Loot Lake. And if that actually is a pyramid that will rise up eventually after that rocket in season 4, that could be the case. That could be the case, man. Yeah, man, it all sounds pretty crazy for real, but hopefully that made sense. There's a lot of information that I just got into, but yeah, again, thanks for watching, man. Definitely let me know what you guys think. Smash the like button on this video, subscribe if you are new around here, man, for real, and I'll see you guys in the next one, man. It's time to grind out here, man, trying to level up my skins, man. Alright, peace.